Good morning again.
Good morning, Alex.
I feel better after that last conversation. So if you're listening to this one, it's a week after the CC one where I said that I was feeling all miserable and down, and it was weird because in the thing she was saying how people put on a brave face.
Yeah, it was interesting.
But to us, it's just 1 hour later.
Yeah, it's not a week later, so she's still a miserable cow.
I'm actually not that bad.
No,
now.
You're not.
It really cheered me up, that podcast with CC. She was lovely, wasn't she?
Really lovely, yeah. So funny that she lived in Newcastle. Why
did I say New Zealand?
I don't know, but because she had like, did you doubt it after you said New Zealand? Did you then think that she meant Newcastle in Australia?
No, because she said about Geordies.
Oh yeah.
No, I knew exactly. That's the weird thing.
Because when you said it, I thought, oh, is it Newcastle, the UK, or is she actually in Australia?
Is there a Newcastle in Australia?
Yeah, that's why I got confused.
Still not New Zealand, is it?
No.
But honestly, I think, do you know what I think it is? I think I'm just clouded. I think my judgment, I just clouded. Like that big grey cloud up there that's definitely going to rain on us.
No, I think, honestly, sometimes you just need to give yourself a break. Like, you're doing a lot, and it's easy to kind of like do all these things, and because you think it's your choice to do all these things, then you don't feel like you can rightly be pissed off that you're doing all these things. But actually, you just need a break. You need a rest.
I need to come on the motorhome holiday. When is it?
Yes, I can't remember.
We're going away. First weekend, Independence Day.
Yes, it
July
is.
The 4th.
Yeah. That could be a special weekend.
Will be very
Me and you out and about on Independence Day. What shall we do?
I don't know. It's not doubling.
Are we taking the bikes?
Yeah, we're definitely taking the bikes. 100% taking the bikes. We said we might go waterfalls swimming.
Oh yeah, we did. We'll find a waterfall.
That'll be cool.
We'll go for a massive walk,
which is what I need right now.
Really find a waterfall, go in it, shower in it.
Oh, should we take the Timothy?
Yeah, should we take pictures? You wash your hair first, and then I'll wash mine.
Right, now it's gone onto a weird level, as it always does with us too. Can I just talk about for a second the Get Fit classes that we're running as part of our membership?
Yep.
How good are they?
Oh, they're so good. I can't believe I like them.
I can't believe you like them. The thing is, right, it started off with our Joe, doing the Get Fit classes on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
And then when Joe decided to step down, obviously, I'd been doing it with her for a few months, and I've got a history of gym going. But I thought, well, I'll carry it on. And then me being me got all paranoid and was like, I can't just carry it on without being a qualified gym instructor.
Yeah.
So I went and did a qualification.
You love qualifications,
no,
don't you?
Yeah,
you're such
a hero child.
You are a hero child. This is why you get tired and worn out, though.
Yes, burnout.
Because you try and do too much. Yeah. I notice it even with us when we work together. You try and do everything. And then I think, I don't need to do that because Alex will do it because she's the hero child.
And I think, oh, well, I'll do that because it's Lisa. Where do you finish your coffee? She's a wanker. I don't think that really. I love you.
I'm not even laughing.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't. I just pretended. I made it up. I put on a false front then. Didn't even think it was funny.
I'm letting in our Be Sober Liverpool and Wirral ambassador.
You're Kaths. A wanker.
I know it. I own it. She's coming in. This is Kath, our ambassador. I'm going to ask Kath whether she thinks I'm a wanker.
Well, that's a question. No, you cannot do that. Please don't. Because I know you want to, but will you not?
Try.
No, don't do it.
I'll try. I promise I'll try. Kath, put your camera on and unmute yourself. You're muted. Hi.
Hi. You all right?
Yeah, we're good, thank you. We're just having a domestic.
Yeah, we were literally just having a domestic. And I've just gone to tilt our screen because I couldn't see your full head. But we can see you now. It's fine. How are you doing?
All right, yeah, not bad. I'm used to watching you doing this, but I don't know what I'm doing on it.
You're going to be amazing is what you're going to be on it. We were just talking. We've been talking a little bit about Be Sober in the membership. But you're now ambassador for the Wirral and Liverpool, aren't you?
Yeah, I am now.
On to 10 of you.
Very exciting. I went over to... Sorry?
It is exciting because you
get... Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because I think going over to Liverpool, it's like kind of feels like more going out and exciting and there's loads happening, and I really want to spread like the sober vibe over there, because when I went over last week I was like asking around and they're like but I feel like it's more up and beat in Manchester, so it's coming over to Liverpool gradually. Like
I think
we'll get it there.
Amazing. So you've kind of been doing the walks in the Wirral.
Yeah.
And we've had some more like real meetups in Liverpool, like weekend, weren't you?
Yeah, Sober Saturday, someone called it, and I was like, that is ace, yeah.
Well, it's funny you should
I
say
love that.
because do you remember the Sober Manchester Thursday Club?
Yes,
so we were talking about how we can make something more regular with our ambassadors, and that might be it for you, a monthly Saturday or something.
Yeah,
every Saturday be sober.
Yeah, but you don't want to be going into Liverpool every Saturday, or do you?
Yeah, why not?
Don't mind.
Organised. Talking about organising, there's an event lined up. I know it's a while away,
Oh yeah.
Emily, isn't there? Emily Cyphers from Sober and Social. She was on our podcast recently, and you're doing a collab with her, aren't you?
Yes, yeah. We spoke the other week, and she was really lovely. And I had a look at some of her other like functions that she's done, and they've been brilliant. So yeah, she wants to do, like, she was saying about a daytime thing, but like bit of karaoke or something like that, or I think it'd be fun, like a brunch type thing. That's what she was thinking of. More than an evening.
I really
you like it?
Yeah, I promise you I will come and I'll be on it. I'll just take it.
I've only ever done it once, and I was like this, and I hid behind the desk.
Lisa, right? You'll never see Lisa on any of the photos. You'll see you lot on the skydive with Lisa and me photographing upwards, and then us on karaoke with Lisa photographing inwards.
Yeah, definitely.
She'll dance.
Right, anyway,
okay.
Let's get to you, Kath, because that's why we've got you on in it. So your events are amazing, but I'd love to know, or our listeners would love to know.
Because you already know.
Oh. Well, I don't fully know Kath's story, so it's kind of nice, because when we do get the meetups and we chat and we've got so much in common, that's nice, but we don't really go into depth, do we?
No.
Things.
Not totally.
Nervous now. But kind of, what is it that actually brought you to become sober?
Did you hear the become?
Become. I know, I couldn't help.
Well, it was a long time coming. like all of us, really. Like, there was a big lead up to it, long lead up to it. So when I started drinking when I was a teenager, like a lot of people did, and I thought it was amazing. Like, when I first got drunk, I was like, wow, like I feel so different. And I always felt a bit different before that, like I didn't fit in properly, and I've never got jokes, and I didn't fit in with the normal crowd and stuff. So when I found drinking, I was like, oh my God, I feel a bit like, I just felt a bit different and a bit weird, and like I just fit in a bit more. And I probably didn't, but I just felt like I did. So
I completely get that. I was exactly the same. It gives you that little bit more confidence,
boost, isn't it?
Especially as a teenager. And if you're feeling a bit like you don't fit and you're not surrounded by people that are the same as you, it's a quick fix, isn't it?
That's what it felt like. I was like, I feel like, I was thinking about this the other day, when I was drinking as a teenager, I don't feel like I did get drunk, but I didn't fall over like I did when I was older, and I didn't lose things. And it was more like teenage drinking was more, it was about getting a bit of confidence for me. And then it wasn't until I was a bit in my late teens, I had a bit of a traumatic event, and that made me drink. Well, not made me drink, but I think that's when my drinking changed slightly, and I drank heavier, like that I wanted to drink to kind of forget and stuff like that. And that's when I was going out every weekend then, and I'd started working when I was about 19, 20 for a big private company. It was a private company, and it was all about drinking and going out drinking, and the prizes were drinking, and I used to get big bottles of rum, and I didn't even drink. I was like, oh, nice one. And big massive bottles of vodka and stuff for a 20-year-old. It's like, it was just all revolving about drinking. And then you'd go in and be like, oh no, what did I do? And have that shame. And I used to hate going into work.
Everyone says this, Kath, right, Lisa, because you really feel that, don't you?
Oh, it's horrible. I honestly would go in after weekends and be like, after Christmas parties, oh, remember this, remember that, and you'd be like, and you're just laughing along as if to say, yeah, I remember it, and you just don't remember anything. Yeah, I just used to get awful flashbacks, and it was horrible.
I just wish that I could forget, especially my younger drinking days. Like, people used to say, oh, I've forgotten that and I've forgotten that, but I never did early on.
Yeah,
I remembered everything, and I used to quite pride myself on that. I'd be like, oh, I remember everything, but that is what caused me massive anxiety, because I would have flashbacks all day of like little things that I'd said or done. So it's,
and you get traumatized by the little things you've said or done sober that aren't even bad.
Yeah.
So she does, you know, like we talked about this on the podcast the other week, but about a cyclist, you know, just making a normal comment like, oh, I do that, or whatever it was, something that you'd say and never think about again. Lisa really overthought it all day, so it must have been actually horrific when it was said.
It was awful.
I just didn't care. Honest to God, I still don't know. I say things now and I think, oh, I shouldn't have said that, but I do just.
Yeah, I do care now still. I'm a bit like that. I'm a bit like, oh my God. But before I've even thought about it, I've said it, and I'm like, trying to dig a hole to like get out of it, and then I'm like, oh, I just gotta get out of here.
That's like a mixture of us both. I used to love ringing Alex after a night out because she would make me feel better about the things. Like, if I overthink something now, she's the first person I ring, because I know she'll say like, what are you on about? Like, don't be so stupid.
He doesn't even care. He don't care. You don't even remember that you said hello to him, Lisa. He's gone. He's round the lake looking at the ducks. Honestly, it's gone. And she's like, oh God, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. And I did used to do that with you.
Yeah, definitely.
But I also was one of those people who, even older and later, remembered everything.
Oh God.
Everything up until the very end, and maybe the last year of my drinking. But then you'd say I did this, and I'd say, oh, don't worry about it, because I did this. I'd always done or said something worse.
Yeah.
Because I literally, I was just one of them. I'd either remember loads or remember nothing. I'd have blackouts, and they would start early in the night as well. And I don't know whether it's partly because you selective memory, you know, like sometimes maybe I was thinking I don't want to remember some of it. But I had William when I was 26, and that calmed me down for a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like it calmed me down for a bit, and I was like, I thought, oh, we're going to be a mum now, and I don't know, I just kind of enjoyed being a mum as well, you know, when he was little. And then when he was about 1.5, me and his dad broke up, so then I was like looking for an outlet then. And when I didn't have William, I would go out and get drunk, like big drunk at the weekend, and then got into situations where I'd always lose things and fall over, and I'd just be the one that people would invite out and think, oh, it's going to be dead funny because Kath's here. Or I thought I was always dead nervous about going out. I was doing the dishes, and I was thinking, I used to have that really nervous feeling about going out, and I used to think it was because I was excited, but I think it's because I knew something would happen, or, you know, because you didn't know what was going to happen, but you always knew something bad was going to happen, or stupid, and if it didn't, you'd think, oh, that was a bit boring.
Yeah, it's true.
That's like a bit of a boring night.
It's so normal as well, I think, when you've got young children and either it's a breakup or the grandparents are having them, like when you've been brought up in a drinking culture like we have, it's the first thing you kind of think to do when you haven't got your kids. It's like, brilliant, I'll go and let my hair down, I'll go out, I'll go party. And you think it's a break. We fool ourselves into thinking that's some kind of break, don't we?
We were single mums for a while at the same time, and we used to coordinate our dad weekends to make sure, well, they were just lethal, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were absolutely lethal, you know, like we'd just go out and that'd be at the weekend gone.
Yeah. And then you wake up and it's like, oh my God, Sunday night.
Yeah.
And it's horrible.
Yeah. And all the rest of it, like you described.
Gotta get back on.
You know, the blackout drinking, did you know you were a blackout drinker, or is it since you've got sober that you've realised it?
I always thought that I just forgot, and obviously you hear that term blackout once you get sober, and you're like, I definitely thought blackout meant passed out drunk.
Yeah, I did.
Definitely. And then, but I blacked out so much, you know, and it was getting worse and worse as I got older, and then even like, yeah, my late 30s, they were like, I went into nursing when I was 34, sorry, and then I was really stressed during that time, so I was sitting in drinking a bit, you know, in the night times when I was on my own, or if I couldn't get out, I felt dead, you know, sorry for myself, and I was like, I'd get more wine and you know, so.
We're having a storm.
We just looked at each
Really?
other, not because of you, but it was a big flash of lightning, and then
Really?
And we were like,
I was thinking, what is out their window? Tell me, please.
I'm sorry about that.
Don't be daft. No, I was just saying, when I was going through my nursing, that's probably when I got more stressed and was drinking a bit on my own, you know, at home, and, you know, drinking wine. Like, if I couldn't go out, I was so depressed if I didn't go out. I was so gutted. Like, if people couldn't go out the weekend, I was like, my life was over. It was just...
Go on.
I was just going to say, especially like studying and having a son as well.
Yeah,
so at that time, and you could go out, you do feel like left out. Like, what about me? What can I do?
When no one could do anything, I was like, what do you mean?
Did you used to phone round everybody, Kath, and so I did. Like, who's going out? You did.
I used to get pissed on Facebook, me, and talk to people, you know,
I did.
I remember going through, because like Facebook was like newish, reminded me of that. But like, I would sit there with a bottle of wine and then like start talking to people through like, I was a massive flirt. And then you
people who are gross.
And then you can see your messages afterwards, and it's awful. Oh God, I'm sorry.
It's horrible.
Anyway, sorry. Go on, Kath.
No, and no, do you know what? It was after my nursing that do you know, I started my first nursing job, and I never went out with them on like a Christmas do or anything, because I was just so worried about getting drunk around people that I didn't know. So I didn't do that, and then I had a bad breakup, and that's around the time that I stopped drinking. But it's my sister told me, like, you have to stop now. That is it, because I was trying to cut down and moderate for about, I'd say, a few years probably, but from about January 2018 till about July 2018, I'd have a couple of weeks here and there where I wasn't drinking, and then if someone said to me, "Oh, you're all right now, aren't you?" Yeah. And I'd just have that drink. Like, if someone said, "Do you want a drink?" Yeah, okay, I'll have one.
When you say you were cutting down, was you a daily drinker, or?
It could be. Do you know what? Because of my work, it wasn't probably every day. If I had work, I might have a glass of wine or 2 glasses of wine. But I remember thinking, oh, I can only have 1 glass. I was gutted, like, on a work night, because my shift started so early. You know, I just think I can't have more than 2, say, in the night time. But when I knew I was off work, I'd have a bottle of wine, and then maybe go out and get more, but leave. If I left some in the bottle, I was made up. I was like, oh, I've got that much left. I always used to do that. That's if I had a bottle of wine and I left a little bit, I felt really good about myself. And
like, because you'd not drank the whole bottle?
Yeah, because I'd not drank the whole bottle, I felt better. Yeah.
I remember having a conversation with Alex years and years ago, and I never really drank in the week. My big drinking started when I got married, actually, which said it all. I shouldn't have bloody done that.
No, but I'm going to reiterate, as I always do, you definitely shouldn't have done that.
I know.
She was on the plane whispering, going, "Oh God, I'm going getting married." I don't want to. I was like, "What are you doing it for?"
Shut up.
That's one thing I've never done.
Yeah, accidentally got married.
I don't think it was your marriage. I think it was when you knew it's how it was going to propose, actually.
Yeah, it was. But anyway, I remember, like, before, and it was when I was on my own, and I would have a bottle of like white wine in the fridge I could leave it there for ages. It never bothered me. I was a binger at the weekends.
Yeah.
I always remember Alex saying to me years and years ago, "There's no way I could do that. If that was in my fridge, I'd have drank it."
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, because I thought it would go off.
Than me because of that one phone call. I must have.
Did you?
Yeah, I
you
must have.
Onto it.
I did, because I clearly remember it, thinking, do you know what? She wouldn't be able to do that.
That's weird though, because I used to think you were a worse drinker than me for 2 reasons. One, because you'd have the odd glass of wine in a week. the odd one,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
never did.
Yeah.
Or very, very, very rarely did. And the other time, because in the morning, if you had a real bad hangover, you'd have one.
Yeah, but only if we were like on holiday
Yeah,
or
that's what I mean, doing
would,
something. You wouldn't just get up on a Monday and have one.
No, but that's what I used to catch like my ex doing. We used to have optics in the living room. I said it because they looked really good.
My God.
For art, right? But I used to put like my favourite drinks up there.
Oh God, I could never have had that in my life.
Well, that's what my ex was like. He used to drink them all, and I'd get that, like, people would buy me really special bottles, and I'd put them on the optic because they look really nice.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely, every time I'd come down, and he was always hanging around in that corner of the room,
lurking,
like lurking near the optic. And I used to look and think, "Where's that?"
Did he go underneath it?
Not like that. No, I'd put it in his cup or whatever.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I used to think, I used to think they were like dripping or something. I was dumb, really.
You were a bit, weren't you, at that point?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was totally like a proper mum, like, you know, reward drinker. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on my own. I'm sitting in wrapping the presents for Christmas on my own. I have a glass of wine, you know, like just anything I was doing in the house when Will was in bed. I'd have a glass of wine. I felt like I deserved it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it was just a go-to. Like if I was sad, I drank. If I was happy, I drank. Any occasion, I've said this in my my little intro in the Be Sober Wirral in Liverpool, you know, I would just drink for anything. But yeah, and then I wouldn't drink in the daytime. I know, like in the morning, I was never a drinker in the morning or the daytime. It was more like evenings and weekends, like you said, like binge drinking and with friends. That was it. It was just that was so exciting, going out and just get. Now I was just thinking, God, I couldn't remember anything. Like I spent so much money and so much time and effort going out. Didn't make much of an effort like in myself, but I was just all about going out and getting drunk. That was it.
Kath, do you think your parenting's changed since you've got sober and the way you are with Will?
I know what I think I'm a little bit, I'd say calmer. I feel like I'm calmer. I still get cross, but when I was drinking, yeah, I was always like, I had that ratty edge to me and a bit like, you know, like a bit of a woe me, and you know, I've got a headache, I feel sick, you know. So Will didn't get the best out of me at all. Like he just got the mum doing what she could to get by and stuff. And I feel a bit sad now that when he was little, I should have been there. You know, I was doing everything I could, but I was going out at the weekends, and I was thinking about going out more than maybe doing some nicer things that I should have been doing with him. And he's a teenager now.
People do that, Kath.
I think
like,
not
on your own. I think, I definitely have done that, and I think if everybody's honest,
I feel sad about my kids.
Yeah, definitely.
My older ones, they definitely missed out, the older two, on things, not majorly. I'm not talking about being like every day with them.
Oh yeah, I wasn't
like, you know, the next day.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
On a Saturday and sort of going off for a nice walk into the park. It'd be, go downstairs, just give me half an hour, you know, just that.
Yeah, that's the little things I think of now. But like I took him to the zoo. We had loads of lovely weekends out with my sister and holidays and my family and stuff like that. But you know, you just think, oh, instead of being like that, I could have been all bright and chirpy and, well, you know, to a certain extent.
Yourself, I think.
Yeah, for me as well, not just for Will. Yeah,
you've missed out on enjoying your children,
and also for liking myself as well. Like I never used to I literally didn't like who I was at all. I
want to talk to you, Kath, a little bit now about actually you getting sober, because I know we've spoken a few times.
Yeah.
But we met, I think, which post was it that you'd seen? Was it 100 days?
Oh yeah. No, I saw you one year with the like this type of thing, like that.
Yeah.
With your light up thing, and I was like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to be that happy, and yeah, you were holding it up.
In our sobriety,
we're one week apart. Yeah, 1 week apart. Because I'm the 2nd of July and you're the 9th, aren't you? Yeah. And
tell us about that first year then, getting sober.
Gosh, the first year was tough because I went through a breakup about 3 months into my sobriety. I knew I had to do it because I couldn't be in that relationship the way that I was feeling, and my partner at the time, he was drinking as well, and we were both in bad, tough places really. So anyway, 3 months into my sobriety, I moved out, and I felt really safe and had my new house, and I was like, but then I was going to New York with my friends, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going on a big holiday and I can't drink. But I did feel really safe, and in the new house, and but I felt quite, after my holiday to New York, I started feeling quite like isolated, and I was cutting myself off from people because people were still going out. It was getting towards winter time, but so instead of sitting in with a glass of wine, I'd be sitting in with ice cream and loads of popcorn or chocolate, and I felt quite, I felt quite safe and happy-ish. I wasn't sad, but I wasn't happy. I was kind of lonely, if you know what I mean. But I was quite like happy to sit and watch telly every night, and as long as Will was upstairs, I knew what he was doing. And he seemed happy as well. So it was around like January, February time, I started getting a bit bored. I was a bit like, I want to dance, I want to go out. So I did go out once in the February to Liverpool with some friends, but it was kind of like really daunting, and I was worried about what we're going to drink. I had Red Bull, 3 Red Bulls like that, and then found one place that served
not Red Bull.
And it was awful. My heart was like this. But and I just couldn't. I was looking forward to going out, but it was more the just being with people and
connection.
Yeah, connection. That's it. That's what I was missing, was connection. But I thought it was the going out. So anyway, it was a few months after that until I went out again. But then I'd seen on Facebook round the July time, Lisa must have been I'd celebrated my 1 year sobriety, sorry, and I'd met some people online, but we hadn't met up in real life or anything, and that was keeping me going. And then when I saw Lisa's 1 year sobriety, I was thinking, I want that. Like, I want to be happy about it, because you were proper genuinely smiling, and I could tell you were dead happy, and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to be like that. So I messaged Lisa, because you must have made Be Sober by then.
Yeah.
And I messaged you and went, can I come to one of your meetups? And you were like, yeah, why not? And I was like, I live in the Wirral. But you were dead nice about it and said, yeah, come up. And it was just so nice. Like, when I went on that first, I'd been to London, to a mindful festival, drinking festival, with some friends who had made online. That was my first sober event, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It was just so good to be around people who got it. And then the first time I went to Be Sober was Maple or Marple, something like that.
Oh yeah, the walk. It was
dead nice, yeah. And I was driving like this. I was so worried about driving. I was like, ooh. And I thought, what am I doing? Going to see people I don't even know, like it was dead weird. And then when I got there, I met Lisa and another girl, and then we went and had brunch with everyone, and it was just so easy to talk to people, and like I couldn't believe it. It was like, oh my gosh, like, no, everyone was sober. It was just a nice connection and feeling to know that everyone felt the same, and we could all relate to each other. That was it.
I always say this, but there's just something so magical when people who have been on the same journey, we all stop drinking for different reasons, but when we all come together in a room, it doesn't matter if there's one other person or 10 other people.
Yeah,
we've got so much in common, and it's scary as hell, isn't it? Like, you drive over, you're like,
I was going to ask about that before, you used to get Lisa to meet you, didn't you, before?
Yeah. So Lisa was like, I'll meet you, it's okay. And I was thinking, do you know what? In my head, I was thinking, Lisa was, because I'd seen you on Facebook and the different groups, and I remember thinking, she's always looking dead happy, this Lisa, what's going on? And then when I saw 1 year sober, I was like, oh my gosh, she's like, we're around the same time. Like, what? I just couldn't, there was something missing between what I'd experienced in that first year and what you'd experienced. But I think it's just so personal, isn't it? And I'd been through so much in that year. I was just I honestly didn't know who I was anymore. I was thinking, have I even got a personality? Like, I didn't even know what made me laugh or what made me.
I really Sorry, I
No,
just
no.
get that so much. I remember when I first stopped drinking, thinking, I do not know who I am, because when I go out with when I go out with my like old drinking buddies, I have no interest in the conversation. I don't find anything funny. And
you start to think, is it me? Have I gone boring?
Yeah, I was like, what even? And I remember sat there thinking, what even interests me? What do I like? And I used to be so envious of people that had hobbies, because I was like, I don't even want to have a hobby. Do you know what I mean?
Just want to be sober in my bubble. Leave me alone.
Yeah, it was just so I just get that so much.
Can I ask you?
Oh yeah.
And it is a genuine question that I just don't think I've ever asked yet. Has Be Sober changed your life then?
Oh. Well.
Oh, you've got to say
no, do you know what?
You wouldn't be the reason I'm asking is because you said there was something missing in that first year. So what I want to know,
at that
point you met Lisa, I met you after that. You've become an ambassador for Be Sober well after you've actually been attending events. So genuinely, if it's no, just say no.
I've just told you all reasons it has.
No, well, do you know what? That Be Sober was literally it was the first thing that it was like meeting. I wanted to meet up with people regularly. That's what I wanted. And I'd met people online and had a group of friends, but we couldn't see each other all the time. We were all dotted over the country. So we'd met once in London. And then when I found Be Sober, it was like, it's somewhere a bit closer. Like, to me, Manchester didn't feel that far. In my head, I was thinking, oh, the airport's 45 minutes away. It's not that far. So I was just thinking, and then that was it then. I had at least once a month going to Manchester, if not more. It was like every couple of weeks sometimes, wasn't it? And it changed my whole sober outlook. I literally became this like happier person. And I went back to work that year. I was off sick actually with anxiety, and I went back to work in the October, and honestly so many people were like, oh, you seem really happy, oh, you know, and they could all tell a difference. And I think it's because I'd had the time off that I needed, and also I'd met people that I could relate to, and it had changed me, you know, like for the better. I'd been able to become someone that I liked. And you know, I was so sad in the first year. I was really like quite down on myself, and I always say this to people about looking after yourself. I did look after myself, and I put myself first for a while. And even though I was doing that, I was still quite sad, you know, like on my own and stuff. So when I met everyone from BC, I was like, oh my God, it was just so happy. I was just like, it was a positive experience. And we always had something planned, didn't we?
It's good, isn't it?
Honestly, and then we did Morning Gloryville, and then we did like Happy Place, and
I love that. The Happy Place Festival was like, and I'm very open about how much I enjoyed my sobriety right from the beginning, and I know that not everybody.
Really. No one knows.
I know, but I was going through like it's dead hard to kind of articulate what I went through in the first year, because my life was actually the shittest it had ever been.
It was a shit show, wasn't it?
It was an absolute shit show.
Behind the scenes.
Remember
you saying
when we were about masking things like on last week's episode. So I kind of was masking things a little bit, but I was able to deal with it because I was sober. So I was so happy in my sobriety, but my actual life was shit. So it's really hard to kind of like articulate that. And now I forgot what I was saying. The Happy Place Festival. I remember going to that, and honestly, I know it sounds so corny because it's called the Happy Place Festival, but I was so happy. Like, we'd got there, and I remember just sitting. We've got a picture of me, you, and Joe actually there.
Yeah.
One of my favourite pictures. I love it. We've got like the big sober tops on when and I just remember like Fern Cotton were there, Russell Brand was there. It was
I loved it.
Festival, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Gray was there. Kath asked a question, and then so you're on the Happy Place podcast. Kath, your question.
I was like that. What's your next book going to be called? So excited. And then I bought it.
But no, I remember just looking around thinking, it was the first time. This is why it's important to me. It was the first time I felt like I fitted. I felt like I fit in with the people that I was surrounded by. I looked around and thought, I relate to some the people on the stage talking, and there were some deep talks where
it was really emotional.
That Johnny Benjamin was taught. He was fantastic.
We were all crying, but
it was so. But I just remember thinking, I fit with these people. This is genuinely my happy place, and to experience that with you as well was just incredible.
It was so nice.
But talking about things like that, and Johnny Benjamin talk, and mental health, and so I want to touch on this. But you've just recently had a diagnosis of ADHD, haven't you? Do you want to talk to us a little bit about that? And about getting that.
Yeah. So, well, a couple of years ago, when I was off work, and around the time that I met Be Sober, just before that, I went on a waiting list for ADHD assessment with the mental health services in where I live. And they said to me, oh, it's a 36-month waiting list. Do you want to wait? And I said, yeah. It's like 36 months. I was really thinking this is a long time to wait for an assessment. But in my head, it was like getting the ball rolling a bit. And I'd started thinking that I had ADHD symptoms when my son was getting diagnosed, well, going through the process about 10 years ago. But because I was doing my nursing, I thought it might stigmatise me to get into nursing. So I didn't want to go down that route back then. But then when I got to nursing, there was so much help there and everything. I was like, oh, I could have got help. But anyway, I just struggled my way through the nursing. The last year was horrendous with the assignments and stuff. I was loving the practical side. Sometimes I didn't quite feel like I got things, or like I think I could see people like looking as if to say, why is she saying it like that? So I'll say things in a funny way, or I'll maybe interpret a different way to other people, or they have to tell me a few times, and I know people get annoyed when you say, can you go through that again? And I can see that they're like, so it was quite hard going through uni because of that as well. But the assignments were awful. Like I did struggle a lot with that. My older sister helped me loads with that. She like proofread them all and everything. So that was amazing. And my family were really supportive. But then just recently I had my anxiety getting triggered again through work. Just I was kind of putting pressure on myself to do this course, and because I'm a neonatal nurse and I love my job, but it's the assignments again were the thing that was triggering me really, and I didn't realise it until towards the end of the course when I was thinking, oh my gosh, I've got to get this work done. And so when I took some time off sick, and that's when I looked into it again and started ringing around. But I've had to do so much myself, like to get this assessment done, because the mental health services is just backlogged, like for kids and adults at the moment. It's like up to 5-year waiting list.
Wow.
It's just horrendous. So
5 years.
Yeah, 5 years now apparently.
Yes, when somebody
and if you want to do it privately, it's about £600. So I couldn't have done that. It's just too much money.
Yeah.
But luckily my work have been really, really supportive this time, during the time that I've been off, and I've gone in for a few meetings and they've just said, do what you need to do to get through this time. And they've even known about Be Sober and said, and they put it in my letter to say that like Be Sober has been supporting you and you're getting support through this group called Be Sober. So that's nice to know that they take it really on board. And but yeah, the assessment was last week and I was so nervous because I thought, if he doesn't give me this diagnosis, I don't know what else to do. I felt like I just need this help now and this support to get me through my job and my home life as well. As I'm so disorganized, it's unreal. But not just that, I can put strategies in place as well and get support through ADHD Foundation, and there is lots of out there. There's like a magazine called Attitude. I've been reading loads of their magazines.
So is it a little bit like when you get diagnosed, I suppose, like you said, you can get help, and is there like, this sounds dead daft, but like,
club.
Like an
ADHD gang.
Yeah.
Just, you know what, there's so much support out there. There is loads of, like, that's, it's only when you start looking you find these things. Like,
Yeah.
I suppose, like with the sober groups, you know, it's only when you start looking it's there and you go, oh, but you've got to really delve into it. And but I feel like that was a few years ago with the sober stuff, because now sober groups are opening up more and more, aren't they? And people can access it a lot easier. But yeah, the mental health, I think, because there's a stigma still there, and I've always felt a bit daft and a bit stupid. I always thought, oh, I'm just stupid, you know, a bit daft, a bit dopey, and I am a bit dopey, but you don't, you play up to it in a way. When people call you that, you just go, yeah. And like someone in work actually said to me, oh, you're autistic, like that, you know. And it was meant to be a joke a few years ago, but I was a bit like thinking, like, probably, you know, I'm somewhere on the spectrum, or I've got ADHD or something, but I didn't want to say that, so I felt so embarrassed. I was like, but it's as an adult you feel a bit,
not you personally, but
people with,
we kind of stigmatize ourselves sometimes, because you know there can be help and support there. It's like you said with the sober community, there's help and support there, but it's actually having to come to terms with these things yourself and look for the help. And when you're stigmatizing yourself and
but it's
saying
society it starts with, because that's what Cece last week was saying, isn't it? That like admitting that you've got a problem in a way is the only way you can get sober, when really we shouldn't be worried about whether you've got a problem or not. We should just be sort of accepting that we want to be sober. And it's the same with mental health, isn't it? You know, this, I speak openly about my mental health. I have done since 2 years now.
Your journey's helped me in some ways as well, because you know, when you talked about your anxiety and certain things about, like, it sounds silly, but you know, when you said about going to sleep and you were worried about, you know, dying and things like that, that's things that I've been through like that, and listening to you helped me, you know, like. And
I think that's the thing, Kath, you know, listening to you now helps me, because I've always thought that maybe I'm on the spectrum. I'm sure Lisa agrees with that anyway.
I kind of feel like everybody that we've ever met in the sober community is kind of on the spectrum, which is making me think, right, that maybe none of us are on the spectrum, but all the people drinking are on a different spectrum.
They're on a different spectrum
than us, and we're just kind of learning to deal with these things without the crutch of alcohol, because that has masked it for so long. We had Simon Chappell on our podcast, and that was the first time when I listened to his podcast, and he just had an ADHD diagnosis as well. And everything he was saying, I was like, I couldn't believe it. I related to so much of it. And I think people will do with you as well.
I definitely think you've been dead honest and open there. It's the thing is, right, with mental health, a lot of anxiety is just normal. And the fact is now that what we've done as a community, as a population, is just put everything in one box and said, right, this is mental health, when actually a good number of it is just normal emotion that's being blown out of proportion due to societal pressure.
It's like at the moment what people are saying about depression, and with everything that's been going on with the pandemic, and people, like, it's a normal thing to feel sad and isolated and, you know, all this necessarily mean that we're all suffering from clinical depression. It's actually just a normal feeling to have, and then it's just so hard with, like,
because when I was getting my first year of sobriety, I don't know why I keep saying it like that.
You said anxiety, you were rhyming. Anxiety.
When I was going through that first year and all those feelings, I was like, you know, I wasn't used to feeling that, and I wasn't used to spending any time on my own. I used to always want to be out doing something, or you know, or like with a partner or boyfriend, you know, there had to be someone there. And so when I was getting sober, I think I needed that first year of getting those feelings out and just feeling them, because otherwise
That's what I was just going to say about the anxiety thing. A lot of people now are diminishing real anxiety disorders like yours, not deliberately.
No.
People say, oh, I've got anxiety. Well, what you've actually got is just worry. You've got normal worry. A lot of people.
I'm not
saying everybody. There's a good number of people with undiagnosed conditions. But we talk so flippantly now about, you know, oh, I felt suicidal, or oh, I was depressed. No, you were sad. No, you were lonely. We don't know how as a human population.
I was so lonely when I was with people. Like, I was in relationships for years, and I felt I've never felt more lonely than when I was in the wrong relationships and stuff. And now I love my own company. And to be honest, like mental health wise, I am on antidepressants.
Yeah.
And I was saying to someone the other day, because they were looking at me like, you don't seem like you've got, and I said, well, I am on antidepressants, so maybe if I wasn't on them, they do keep me calm. They yeah, because when I go on the meetups, I'm like, hi, and I think, God, they're gonna be like, what the hell? But and I do want to try ADHD medicine to help me with my work. Is it thundering?
So bad.
Oh,
that was
really?
like so loud.
You see my weather? It's like
I
really
can't
sunny.
see it. I've got
No,
to try
honestly, that like flashed. I thought it was coming in. Did you see my
I
face?
used to love the thunder and lightning. I was telling them
scared
the
now,
other
though.
day
I
I used
used
to
to
run
love it.
under a tree, which is the worst place to
I
run.
Yeah, don't ever go under.
Getting older, I think you kind of realise what it really is, and it's quite dangerous.
Quite
and
scary,
with
isn't it?
your computer on in a really open window.
Yeah, like-
It's not the best place to be.
You know, I read an amazing book, and the guy that wrote it, it's like a real spiritual book, and I can't remember what it's called, which is well annoying, so I'm really sorry about that. But he got struck by lightning twice. What's the chances of that?
And he was still alive.
Yeah, and it's all he died, and then and that's what. No, he's alive now.
Oh.
I know.
It's like a roller coaster. This episode. Right, it's alive.
Yeah, and he speaks about his experience, but
Oh my gosh.
I can't remember. It's really, really.
I'm gonna look it up.
That's like, it was someone once upon a time got struck by lightning. He's dead. No, he's not. He's alive, but I don't know who he was, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh dear.
That's basically the story.
Yeah.
Kath, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, just kind of before we finish up, obviously,
Yeah.
you're speaking about your experiences, both with meeting people and the ADHD and all of the things that you've been through. It is going to massively help other people.
Yeah.
With like your next steps, can we just talk about that? Because you're actually training now to be a sober coach as well, aren't you?
I'm halfway through my coaching
Yeah.
because I did. I was getting a bit worried actually. I was like, in a minute to finish this, and to message Alex. No, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it actually, and I think I'm coming up to 3 years this year, and I think I've from about 2 years I've probably wanted to help other people, not help, but you know, like just kind of like pass it on and like give other people the tools to like carry on being sober or get onto that sober like journey. And because it's so hard, that first just getting onto the sober kind of ladder, isn't it? And it's like it's such a big thing. When I stopped drinking, I actually thought this is this is what I always say. I always thought I was giving myself a life sentence. Like I literally felt like I was cutting something off, and that was part of me. It was like, and I was closing the door on like something really special. Like now I'm like, oh my God, like I don't want to forget things and pour drink down my neck and forget. Do you know, like just because it's got a number on, I'll have that one, and you know, it's got a big number on it, I'll get that drink.
What we kind of like, it's a drink, it's a liquid.
You know, it's a poison. I know.
It's just like now.
I can't get my head around it now.
When you're in it, like you said, I remember like hearing of alcoholics that had to stop drinking.
Yeah,
and I felt so sorry for them. Like, the poor things are never going to be able to experience like a night out or like what the actual were we thinking?
I know.
That life now, experiencing life without it.
It's 10,000 times better.
It's so
I know.
It's amazing.
And it sounds dead cheesy, doesn't it? But you're like, because when I met up with some of the girls on Saturday, and one of them's 50, she's probably about 54 days sober now, and she's doing amazing. And she's like, I can't believe it. I thought I was going to be dead bored. And she's like laughing her head off with three of us, and she was having so much fun. And she was like, I just thought my life was going to be boring. And she, you know, she said, to hear her saying that made me so happy, because I thought 51 days is amazing. And that 51 days had already made a big change in her mindset and everything.
And you've helped create that by having your
She's amazing.
You're showing somebody at 51 days that they can have fun.
Oh,
like that must feel pretty special.
And that was in the middle of the day, and that was like 12 o'clock or something, and then we were all like, oh, we're going to go and do some stuff afterwards, and well, I've got the whole day ahead of us. And that's the nice thing about staying out for a few hours sober. You've still got loads of other like time left to do loads of other stuff. Like we
you do like a full night out, don't you? The getting ready, the eating, the drinking, the after bit, and then you've only been out like 3 hours.
Yeah,
you've
like,
got a full day. Like I've done
no
everything.
headache.
Yeah,
no headache. Yeah,
it's
It's
like
mad.
unless you've had loads of sugary
mocktails. We
mocktails.
did have a few mocktails. It was lovely.
Yeah. It looked amazing.
I went round all the bars going, so what drinks do you do? What alcohol? And they're like, oh.
We'll get them started in Liverpool.
Yeah, we will. So anyway, I think unless you've got anything else you haven't told us.
No,
Kath,
don't think so.
any other secrets you want to get?
No.
Do you know what? Honestly,
Really, I'll be like that later. I wish I'd said that.
You can have it in the write-up. Send me what you wish you'd said, and I'll say Kath said she wishes she'd said. Seriously, it's going to help so many people. You've been completely honest about your journey and about especially dealing with your mental health and the ADHD diagnosis. I think there's so many people can really relate to it. Thank you.
Oh, no worries. I'm glad to share and help anyone.
Stay on at the end, Kath.
Okay.
Thank you, and see you later.
Bye.